INTELEON will be released on the live server on Tuesday, so as always a quick guide about the Pokemon, gonna explain all the moves and the ones I like the most, and then we just go over the entire kit. So you either, if you want to play it yourself, you know exactly what you're looking at, or it's also very important to know exactly what this Pokemon does if you're facing it, right? Because otherwise you're gonna be like, what is even happening? What am I doing? What am I going to do against this Pokemon? It's a very squishy ranged attacker, similar to something like the Sidrai, but it's a special attacker. It does do a lot with its basic attacks as well, so the basic attacks do fully special attack damage. So it's gonna be quite interesting. We haven't had those attacker kind of Pokemon yet. I mean, Glaceon is the Glaceon is a similar one, where all the attacks do special attack damage. For head items, I just kind of went for like Muscle Bend, Spoon, and Scope Lens. You auto-attack a lot. Scope Lens will increase your damage by a decent amount because there's a way of getting 100% crit on some of your moves. And then Spoon, just because it's a special attacker Pokemon, it's one of the best items. Muscle Bend, just straight up for attack speed. First, I'm going to start with the Boost Auto Attack. It's just extra damage on the Boost Auto Attack. You can see right here. Just extra damage. But I'm first going to talk about the passive as well, which is very important. If you go close to a wall, you turn into this camouflage. The enemies can still see you. They see like exactly what you are seeing right now. And you build up your passive, which are these blue dots under your HP bar. And every time you do a basic attack or a move, it consumes one of those, and it gives you 100% crit on the next thing you do. So if you basic attack now, crit, crit, and crit. It's gonna allow you to have 100% crit on everything you do, even on your moves. So it's quite insane. And there's a way of splitting it up. First, we can build it up again, walking towards a wall and turning invisible, or by using our second move. Something like T for Look. You can see T for Look gives us 1 stack of it. And then we can consume it as well and use it on the other one, which is Water Gun, like here. And we're gonna crit on the entire move, which is absolutely insane, because it's actually gonna allow us to lane and go to path, because this is insane last setting, right? The Water Gun shoots multiple times, and then all of it can crit. So for early game, that is just absolutely crazy for an attacker Pokemon to have this much damage, right? To a last hit, you can see maybe go towards even a level 7 Talonflame right here. Gonna stack it up, do 1 Water Gun. You can see even to a level 8 Talonflame, it does absolutely massive damage because of the crit. And I'm a first evolution Pokemon, so this is gonna be absolutely insane for laning phase. So you want to do is, right, play for Look also. I think Tier for Look also increases the defense and special defense stats. Increases the attack and special attack of a designated Pokemon. So, but right now, you're auto-attacking, you're last hitting, you're going for a last hit right now in lane, and before the NED goes down, you just do a T for Look into the Water Gun, you hit on the opponents, and you can either even do a lot of damage to your opponents as well, or just get the last hit quite easily. And you're going to show Water Gun without it as well. If Water Gun does not have any stacks, you can see the damage is for sure much smaller. On level 5, you pick up Acrobatics or Face Stinger. Both of them are going to be mobility moves, and both are going to give you a passive as well. It's first up with Acrobatics. It's just a jump you can do onto a wall, similar to Blaze Kick, or like actually similar to Jump Kick Dodrio. You can just jump onto a wall, you can jump off enemies. It's pretty much a jump kick. You can jump back and forth. It's quite nice. I really like this move, and you can see it also gives us our passive. 2 in total. If you just do it one time and hit nothing, we get 1 passive stack. If we hit something, we get 2. And you can use it across enemies, and you can jump and gain a lot of distance. And on top of it, it also slows your opponents down. Not sure if I can show it right now, maybe on the Xatu bit, but it also gives you a small slow on top of jumping onto your opponents. For our level 5 move, we have Face Stinger, which is also quite fine. It shoots out a long Face Stinger into a direction. If it hits opponents, we get a stack on our passive. Again as well, so you can see right here we get a stack of our passive, and if we hit a wall we actually go towards the wall, which is also very cool. And if we we go to a wall, you turn invisible, so it's actually quite fun. It's just a hook, I guess, against the wall. Sadly it doesn't work on enemies, right? It would also be quite hilarious, but I mean, it would be also quite bad because it's a way, like in a team fight, to stack up your passive, maybe to do like a big snipe shot or something, which I'll also talk about in a second. But yeah, Face Stinger, quite good as well for a lot of mobility. So both of these are just mobility and ways to recharge your passive for your other move. So on level 7 we have Snipe Shot and Liquidation. Liquidation on the test server first was better, but now Snipe Shot actually got a buff, so it could also be quite nice now. It used to charge up very slowly, but you can see if you watch my INTELEON videos, this is much faster. They already buffed this Pokemon before even it being released, because Snipe Shot felt very bad the one time I played it. It just didn't feel good. So you charge up this Snipe Shot right here, and the area gets smaller and smaller. If you do it instantly, there's like, it randomly goes in this entire cone. You can see I aim it to the right, but it just goes anywhere into the cone. So there's a chance of you missing it if you just, lose it like this. You can see I'm just pressing the button, auto-aiming, and it can miss quite easily. So you want to make this area smaller to make sure you don't miss, right? Obviously, makes sense. And I think it does around the same damage though. It's like the damage doesn't get increased. It's just accuracy. So you make sure you hit your snipe shot. And again, very important, you can see if I do it like this, it's only 721 damage. But if I have my passive up, one stack right here gets consumed, you instantly do 1800 damage. So using snipe shot, when your passive is not up, is complete griefing. You only use snipe shot when your passive is up, when you have your passive stacks up, otherwise it's gonna be absolutely useless. So gotta keep that in mind for sure. Also, it's important to know that snipe shot doesn't pierce enemy Pokemon. It can only pierce white Pokemon. So I can do something like this. It doesn't stun me. We can pierce white Pokemon. So we can hit multiple Atari at the same time, but we can't pierce, you know, enemy Pokemon. But you know, these one we can all hit if we line it up right now. We can hit 3 of them or 2 of them maybe, depending on how they line up. But we can't pierce enemy Pokemon. Our other level 7 move is going to be Liquidation, which locks on 2 targets, similar to like Icicle Spear Glaceon, and we're going to start shooting our opponents. If we hit the same target 5 times, we also do increased damage afterwards for a while. So our attacks, you can see, do 275 right now. And, or they should actually be increased. But I guess maybe not. Maybe this is still bugged as well. No, that's 330, you can see. And now it's back to 275. Do it again. So the damage after your Liquidation, if you hit the same target 5 times, is going to be increased. Sadly, you lose a bit of move speed using it. And you can also use acrobatics during it, so you can do something like this, which is also quite nice. I just bugged out the character completely, but you can use Liquidation and acrobatics during it. And if you use Liquidation, it's going to consume one of your charges, but all of your Liquidations, auto attacks, all those things are going to crit. So it's also very important, is you don't have to just have one crit or something. Your entire move, similar to Water Gun, is going to crit. And it's a very fun moveset. This was for sure the one I had the most success with on the test server, and it felt very, very strong to use, and I was very, very enjoyable to play this moveset. And using acrobatics during Liquidation also reduces the cooldown of Liquidation. So I'm doing Liquidation, you can see 6-second cooldowns, acrobatics, and now it's down to a 2-second cooldown. Next up is Intense Unite move, which is also very strong. We press it one time, and you're gonna see something very cool now. We reveal everything around us in tall grass as well. You can see the bot right there, and we can start basic attacking, and yeah, they're gonna be revealed. And during this time, we keep recharging our passive. You can see the blue charges keep happening, and during this time, we just want to basic attack. Our basic attacks during this time do a lot of damage. We also have an increased critical hit chance in general, so there's a high chance we crit on almost every single basic attack going into this fight. And yeah, it's a very fun, very strong unite that lasts very long. And just being able to reveal targets in bushes also allows us to auto-attack much easier, right? Doesn't work on white Pokemon, of course, but the enemy Pokemon will all be revealed, which allows us to chase Pokemon down further. But yeah, you want to be auto-attacking a lot with this. You just basic attack, maybe get one Liquidation in, and then keep on basic attacking with this Unite move, and just put down insane amounts of damage. On level 11, we get Acrobatics Plus, which gives us more range on our first jump, which is also quite nice. And on level 13 for Liquidation Plus, I think we just get more numbers of Water Projects fighters. So we just get more, it's just pretty much increased damage. We just do more damage as soon as we get Liquidation Plus, which is also quite nice. Also, I think I forgot to mention, when you hit Face Stinger onto a wall, you also get cooldown onto it. So you can see right now, the cooldown is usually like 5 seconds, but if I hit it onto a wall, it gets reduced to 2 seconds. And Face Stinger Plus reduces the cooldown even further of the base move. So late game, you can see it has a 2-second cooldown, jumping around, also quite nice. Good reposition tool for Snipe Shot. So if you get jumped on right, you can just maybe go to wall and get some reposition in for your next Snipe Shots and able to, you know, keep on going. And then Snipe Shot on level 13 gives us a quicker recharge time onto our thing. So you can see, like, you can see the 2 right there. We can have 3 charges of it, and those are just going to recharge even faster. So what's most important about this Pokemon is just that you use Face Stinger and Acrobatics to build up your passive, right? You build up those blue dots, and you only use your second move when you have a attack, like one of those stacks ready. You don't want to use Snipe Shot without your passive, so you don't want to ever use Snipe Shot like this, because it does no damage then otherwise. You always want to make sure you build up a passive first. There's a chance to crit, of course, which is, which is alright, but I wouldn't gamble on it. So just make sure you just shoot it when you have a boost auto attack stack ready. Otherwise, it's gonna just be on a boost auto attack, just, you know, his passive, which are the blue circuits. But you can see there's a chance to crit anyways, but I wouldn't just gamble on it, right? Just make sure, otherwise you're gonna lose a lot of damage, and you can see it's very low chance for it to even crit. So I wouldn't necessarily gamble on that, but those can still crit without, you know, your passive either. But again, you can see it's quite low. And this is the one move set. I think you can play Acrobatics into this way. Snipe Shot, Acrobatics, Snipe Shot, Face Stinger is gonna be totally fine. But if we go for, you know, the other moveset, I think, which might be a superior one as well. It's gonna be difficult to play though, because you're still very easy target, of course. But I think this moveset's gonna be very fun. It actually deals a good amount of damage as well. And people are for sure gonna be surprised by it. And it's very, very fun to play. We call it the James Pond build, which is also hilarious. But yeah, it's a very, very fun build. And I can recommend for sure if you want to play this Pokemon on day one, you give this one a try. And I had a lot of fun on the test server already with it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you're looking forward to Inteleon. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!